Oh, excuse me, I'm just checking my messages. I've got hundreds of them. You see, somehow, I don't know how this has happened, but I seem to be in many WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups. I think there's even some contacts on Signal. And then, of course, there's all the emails. And then there's the websites. And of course, I've got to make sure I check out all those videos that I've been sent. And no doubt there's various other things that one's got to do just to catch up first thing in the morning before you can do anything else. I don't know whether you're in the same situation. And yet it's funny, isn't it? Because everybody's chattering about those people who are aware of the great harms that have happened to us. They're all chattering about and looking at this direction and that direction, and people are coming up with answers, and then other people are coming up and saying, no, that's not the answer. You've actually got to do it this way because that works better, or maybe you should be buying land over here rather than buying land over there, or perhaps we should be blasting the skies with cloud busting technology, or whether we should. And in the end, you just think, hang on a minute, there's just so many voices all chattering around in these little ghettos, and we're all sort of like little ants coming from one conversation over here to another conversation over there and saying, oh, so-and-so says such as, oh, you don't want to believe him. Oh, no, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And in the end, you start going, well, this is a bit mad, isn't it? We're all scattered about. We're all sort of jibber-jabbering away. And nothing gets done. Then yesterday morning, a man knocked on my door. No, he wasn't a bailiff or an enforcement agent, thank goodness. He was a very nice chap, but he was very frustrated. And he said, look, Richard, I don't know where to go. He said, you're the one I need to talk to. And I thought myself, what do you mean I'm the one that you need to talk? He said, well, you seem to be rounding them all up in all the interviews. You're talking to all the relevant people. You seem to be the one. I said, well, don't look at me for a leader. And he said, well, what are we going to do? I'm very frustrated. All these people are chatting, but nothing is getting done. Is there a plan? Anyway, he went off, and I felt that I was unable to help him really, because I wasn't quite sure. You see, part of my problem is I've now taken myself away from all the television, so I don't know anything about the big national picture anymore, the national narrative or the global narrative. I'm not interested in all the scaremongering. I gather that there was some sort of Super Bowl event. I don't even know too much about it. And other people have referenced this and said, oh, it was all satanic and various symbols and things. And I thought, well, if it's on mainstream media, I'm not going to see it. If it's all scary stuff, I'm not going to see it, because I want to move away from all the scary stuff and being in fear. I want to look at the solutions. And in March this year, I'm taking a bit of a holiday, I suppose, from all of this. I'll take you with me. But my partner, the lovely Julia, and I are basically going to start doing stuff. We want to find some land, and we want to look at rearing animals, and we want to do the investigation bit. I can't do that whilst I'm tied up doing lots and lots of interviews with very interesting people trying to find the solutions. But how long are we all going to sit there chatting away, trying to find the solutions, or know what the solutions are and just talk about them a little bit more? You see, it strikes me that what we don't have at the moment is a national conversation. We can have the government come out with their policies and then have a national conversation on the television, and people can talk about what they want to do. But what about what we want to do, what the people want to do? We're all having that conversation, but we're all having it in private, in little, smoke-filled rooms of our own, so to speak, on WhatsApp groups and Telegram groups. And we're even having little conferences here and little presentations over there, and I've been part of it. But what there isn't is a national conversation. There doesn't seem to be an alternative plan that's laid out that everyone can get behind, so that you go, do you know what, council tax, let's say that, as it's an unfair system, and it does seem to be, from all the different people I've spoken to, actually fraudulently collected. People don't seem to be able to push back and say, hold on a minute, I'm a member of this society and I do not think it's fair, I want my say. No, railroad it down, there you are, punch you to the ground, bring somebody, big hefty bloke, going to take your car away if you don't pay. It's very anti-human, isn't it? It's very anti-human, all the policies that are coming out of government. So what we need is a sort of an antidote to that. I feel. You may disagree. You may prefer to be in all these little ghettos having a little chinwag over here and making your day feel a bit better and then going off to the supermarket to have highly processed food and poisoning yourself. I mean, it is entirely up to you, of course. Perhaps you just want to carry on breathing in the highly sprayed skies with all the heavy metals in it so that, we all get dementia and just drop down, end up our days in one of those homes where they plonk you in front of cash in the attic all day long, whatever it is. Or maybe we need now to get together and say, actually, we need to have this conversation, a national conversation, and really bring it to the fore and challenge what is going on in a much larger fashion, not challenging with sticks and protests and begging for our rights. We've already got them. But we should be just setting up our own big assembly of people, our own national conversation. We start saying, here's the solution. This is what we do. Who forwards it? Yes. Who seconds it? I do. Let's make it happen. It seems that all the time we're just letting these people take over our lives more and more with their policies of the digital IDs and the CBDCs and the surveillance technology and reducing the amount of cars and no, you won't be able to fly or you're going to have 2 threads of string for clothes, whatever it might be that are coming in from the WEF. And I mean, I know Jordan Peterson, for example, who sort of set up this WEF with his ARC, and that's sort of dubiously funded. But why do we want all these sort of very rich millionaires sorting it all out for us? Why don't we, the ordinary, everyday, hard-working people of this country who've made these people rich with our energy and our work and acquiescing to their rules, why don't we all just gather together and decide this is our parliament, this is our government, this is the alternative to them, and just get on with it? Instead of all this nitter-natter, chitter-chatter all over the place. Or am I missing something? Maybe I am. I'm not the brightest spark in the toolkit, but at least I think that there does seem to be something that we ought to be doing by getting everybody together and actually having this national conversation. What do you think?